because this is all about the Facets business analyst is what something this requirement is all about.
Okay.
But when you see the job description, are you listening, Rahul?
Yes, I'm.
Okay, thank you. Right. So, but before I'm going to explain you about the job description part from the context of Facets application, first of all, understand how generally application works in either it can be healthcare domain or in any other domain. Because anyway, you are all glad to know that you have already have a business analyst experience in the healthcare side for a very long time. So you know about the EDI processing, transaction codes, right? So about Medicaid plans, Medicare, right? So HIPAA rules and regulations. This is all something which you are already have.
Yes.
But when it comes to the facets or in Health Edge, or it can be a QNext or Health Edge, whichever the application we uses, especially when applications will be used for one scenario. Scenario number one, I'm right down here. Okay, if you want, you can make a note of it. Scenario one. Scenario one is, right, let me write down the scenario here itself. Scenario one. Scenario one, let's say, for example, if you take any organization, they are using an existing claim processing application for a very long time. Okay, let's say, for example, payer company. As part of their business scenario, as part of their business expansion, or they are entering into the new lines of services. Hence, they wants to upgrade their systems. This is generally any organization wants this because upgrading their systems, upgrading their business processes, upgrading their technology is an inevitable part in any industry. You know that whatever the business process they follow, either it can be the provider side or it can be a payer side, claim processing or adjudication or billing or updating the benefit enrollments, right? So anything, there is a business processes involved. Time to time depends on the lines of business they were in, depends on the expansion of the business they do from the different to different areas. They require to enhance their business processes. First, enhancing the business process usually is the requirement for any organization. Okay, let me, yeah, can you see this now? Is it visible now to you?
Yes.
Right. So enhancing the business process is what something which organization requirement is. Enhancing business process for any reason, because they are going for expansion of the business or they are planning to expand their business over a period of time in future. That's where generally these business goals and objectives comes into picture, because as in when you are a business analyst, you know about the importance of business goals and objectives to be reached. Okay. In this process, what organizations do, organization wants to enhance their technology, enhancing their technology. This is what something which generally they have a requirement. Now, enhancing the technology, how come it's possible? There are two ways. Either the first way, extending the features of the existing application which they were using for a very long time. Okay, this is one option. Second option, require a new application to develop according to their business needs. According to their business needs. There are only two ways. Let's say there is a claim processing application using by the organization. So there are only two ways. Either they want to extend by adding some new features and functionalities to the existing application is one option. Second option, they may require some kind of new application to be developed according to their business needs. These are the two options you have. But whereas in the present scenario, you see, normally most of the applications you see, application types are two. One is on-premise applications. Second is cloud-based applications. So what is on-premise? On-premise application means whichever the software or an application you are using being a user, that application will be installed in the local workstations, and you are accessing the data within the local servers which are located, so that they maintain their own data centers, they maintain their own servers and all, firewall protection, everything will be there. From that, generally access of the data will be done and they use the application. This is on-premise. Many of the banking and financial services, to an extent possible, even in healthcare side also, majority of the applications will be on-premise. I am talking about earlier days. Now, let us assume there is a claim processing or some healthcare administrative application using by an XYZ organization as a payer company. They want to extend, let us take the first scenario there, they want to extend their features to the next level by adding some new features and functionalities. This is not something possible practically. Why? Because the existing application, what they have developed old legacy system, whatever the features and functionalities that particular application has, as well as the kind of software and hardware requirement, was very old. By considering the present situation, adding some new features and functionalities to the existing application may not be possible. Yes or no?
Yes.
Listening, right? Right or not? Right? Point number one. Now, what is the next option? They want some application to be developed, means they want some customized application according to the business needs they want to develop. But here in the second option, what happened? First of all, cost will be more, because exclusively for your requirements, if I want to develop an application, it charges you more, because this is exclusively for your needs I'm developing. So hence charges are very high. Point number one. Point number two, it takes a lot of time for me to develop the whole application, means whatever the required features and functionalities you want to develop, everything will be so difficult. Yes or no? Right?
Right. Yes.
Now, being a payer company or matter to the fact, any organization, what you want some customized product. You want some product which has all the required features, so that you can use it in your organization, right? This is where generally we call it as product stands for. That's the reason why normally we take as products. We call it as products, COTS products normally, right? So
Mhm.
COTS products is what something which normally from the IT perspective, we call it as COTS applications, right? So COTS products are there. So there are different COTS products. You can see like Salesforce CRM applications or Dynamics. Okay, these are all different COTS products which were already there. In the same manner, especially from the healthcare point of view, we have three major applications. I am giving you the basics first, okay, so that you will be understood the scenarios. First, Facets. Second, we have an application called QNext. And the third, we call it as Health Edge. So these are the three major prominent applications we are using in the industry as of now. Do remember, these are the products which was already developed. Okay. These are the products which were already developed. Whatever the required features are needed, whatever the required modules required for Facets, everything will be there over here. This is something, the first point. Now, what is the second point here? So this product, whatever the Facets product you want, this has to be configured in the organization. This has to be configured in the organization. Let's say company has decided, organization has decided to use Facets application in spite of the old application. Now, whatever the required features are there for Facets and all, everything remains constant. That never changes. But what needed here, what is required here, this Facets application has to be configured in such a way based on the kind of business rules which that organization has. Based on that, we require some modifications to be made to the existing ones. Yes or no, right?
Yes.
Right or not, right? So you required some kind of configuration you made. So any application, whichever the kind of application you see here, normally applications will have two different stages. One is about the configuration stage. Second is an integration stage.